Hey guys, this is the first tune that I ever learned by ear, listening to a record. Not the first tune I ever learned, because I did learn a couple by sheet music before that, but this is the first one I was ever able to just pick up by listening to an album. And the album I was listening to was Chieftains 7, which is a great album. If you haven't heard that one, definitely worth listening to. Really, all those early Chieftains albums are amazing, so worth checking out. But it's a tune called O'Sullivan's March. It's a jig, but they play it kind of slow, more like a 6/8 march. Which is why I was able to pick it up so easily, because they played it nice and slow. So I'll do the same here, break it down a little bit, play it the way I would ordinarily play it if it came up at a session, and kind of come back through and hit the melody and the ornaments and that sort of thing like I usually do. So here we go with the full tune. I always like that tune. And like I said, that was the first one I ever learned by ear, so I was real proud of that one. It's a great old tune, and it doesn't really come up much at the sessions anymore. I'm not sure why. It just kind of fell out of rotation, I suppose. But it's always been kind of one that kind of grew on me. So I'll break down just the basic melody. Now, the cool thing about this one is the A part is really, you only have to learn half as much as you would on a normal tune, because it's basically a repeat the whole way through. The second half of it is. So here's the beginning of it. Do that again. Finish it off. Again. And the nice thing is there, you're done with the A part. I'll play the whole thing because it just repeats. That's the whole A part. Nice and easy, hopefully. Now the B part is kind of a standard length, so you do have to learn a bit more for that, but it's not too tricky. So here's the beginning of it. Do that again. The second section here. Do that part again. Now the third section is kind of a bit of a walk up here. Run that again. And it finishes off the same way as the A part did. Again. I'll play the whole B part with all the everything kind of put together there. Right, so that's the whole melody. Now ornament-wise, again, because the A part is a bit repetitive, there's lots of room for ornaments and for things like that. So I usually start with a cut on the bottom D. just because with the jig it kind of gives it a little bit more of a punch. Yeah, so then on the E, it's kind of one of those things that I like to do. I've had a few questions about that on various other tunes. It's kind of mixing sort of a half a cran. I'm kind of making this up as I go along, but these two fingers with a tonguing or embellishment there to kind of break it up. So you kind of stop it and it gives it a bit more of a punch. Again, for any kind of a jig, that's kind of the rhythm that you're looking for. And there's a lot of half rolls like that that you can kind of work in there on the A part, because it is fairly repetitive. It's a short part. It's basically the same thing twice through, so you can kind of play around with it and do things a little bit differently. You can kind of pause on a note here and there just to mix it up a little bit. Now on the B part, it's a bit unusual as jigs go. I kind of like to accent those high G's, just because it's really one of the only things that kind of stands out about this tune. And you can do a bit of a cran there. So you can kind of mix it up, and sometimes I like to do a triplet. So I'll play around with that one. Hopefully have some room to kind of come up with some new things there that maybe I'm not doing, or mixing some of the ones that I am, and listen to the Chieftains version of it too, because it's pretty awesome. It's a great album, great set of tunes that they play with that one. So hopefully you like that, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks very much.